Oh, okay, so here are some of the eyelid and lash disorders, okay? Ectropion causes the eyelid and lash to turn outward. Usually the lower lids, involves loss of elasticity of the eyelid tissue and can require surgery to correct. This is usually the bottom eyelid kind of turns outward. So when you see people that their eyelids on the bottom are shaped this way, they have ectropion eyelids, okay? So like I said, this is usually on the lower lid. The lower lid turns outward, okay? Loss of elasticity, and usually you have to have surgery to correct. So there is a loss of elasticity. So, honestly, you guys, it really affects, and you can tell the person in the photograph is an older person, okay? Whenever your elasticity is affected, it's, you've gotten older. So it's the outside lid kind of opens down and droops down, and you can see the red tissue inside the lower lid. Then we have entropion. Okay, the entropion causes the eyelid to fold inward, and the entire line of the lashes will come in and touch the cornea. This is usually someone that has a hooded lid. Okay, so this is entropion. It's eyelid folds inward.
So upper lid normally?
Upper and lower, really, which can scratch the cornea, involves loss of elasticity of the eyelid tissue, and also requires surgery to correct. So the lashes will scratch the cornea, okay? Then we have matosis. Okay, matosis is loss of eyelashes or eyebrows on one or both sides of the face. So this is a loss of lashes or brows. Ingrowth of the lash, which can scratch the cornea, is trichiasis. I guess that's how you'd say it. This is ingrowth of lashes. My mom has this. Her lashes on the bottom our lashes are very straight. I don't have a lot of curl to my lashes. My mom's are extremely straight. They almost go down. They're so straight. So she has a lot of problems with her lashes actually kind of growing back in and scratching her eye. So these are the lid diseases and disorders, okay? All right, so the next thing I want to talk about are sensitivities versus allergies. And we've talked about this a little bit, okay? Sensitization is an allergic reaction created by repeated exposure, okay? So, okay, this is when obviously it turns into allergic reaction because you keep using something over and over and over and over again, okay? It is, it is created, okay? That's the thing, that's like the key word. It is created by repeated exposure. Okay? Until the allergic reaction no longer occurs, the product causing the reaction must not be used. Eyelash adhesives and eyelash lift solutions can be common causes of this type of problem. Okay, so it's going to be your lash adhesive that's going to be the biggest problem. Okay, then we go into some of the products that you're going to use, right? So some of the things you really have to look out for are the gel in the eye pads can cause allergic reactions. Okay, so your eye pads, you know, most of them are gel, and this can cause a reaction. Okay? iPads should never come in contact with the inside of the eye. Okay? No contact with inside of eye. And also place pads 1 to 2 millimeters under the lash line. And you never reuse iPads. So what I'm going to have you guys do today is, of course, I have rubber faces, okay? And they have a bottom lash. So what you guys are going to be doing today with Mari is putting the pad on over the top of those bottom lashes. And then I have lash strips that you're going to glue on top of that, and then that is what you're going to be putting your lashes on for today, because I want you to learn how to place those pads on over lash lines. Now, the other lashes that I have that you guys are going to use come connected to the eye and all that, but today we're going to put the pad on over the lash, and then you'll have to apply another lash strip on there that you'll be able to map out and use. Does that make sense? Okay, that's what we're going to do today, okay? The adhesives. This is what you really need to know is this is your glue. This is what you're going to use to put them on, okay? And you know the word that State Board likes, cyanoacrylate. Okay? That's the word you need to know right there. That will be on your State Board exam. Absolutely. Okay? This is the main ingredient. In almost all adhesive, from your nail glue to your lash glue. And a sensitivity to it may rule out lash application. There are several different kinds of lash adhesive that you can use, you guys, but you know what? There's only a few that will really stick that lash. Okay? There's only a few that are really worth using. So, if your client has sensitivity, okay, they may not be able to wear these lashes, okay? An allergic reaction to cyanoacrylate shows up as, so your reaction is going to look red, itchy, swollen along the lash line. It can cause heavy swelling that will even close the eyes shut. Okay, the reaction occurs even if the skin doesn't come into contact with it. Okay, and the problem is there is a dye. The dye is called carbon black. It is the pigment that is added to make lash glue black. Okay, some lash glue is black, right? It's carbon black. Some people are allergic to carbon black. You may need to use one that is clear, okay? So this is just something that can give them an allergic reaction, is the carbon black or the latex. Some people are allergic to latex. Latex adhesive reaction are similar to cyanocrylate reactions with itchy red skin, possibly hives or lashes. Most clients will know if they have an allergic, if they're allergic to latex, they will know, okay, because they can't wear rubber gloves. They know that they can't use latex, okay? I had a client that couldn't have anything to do with latex, so I had to pull her through a cap because I couldn't touch her with rubber gloves. Like, it was bizarro. I had a student in here that was allergic to latex, and I didn't even think about it. She started rolling perms, and you know what that band is made out of? Latex. Had latex in it. And she started having a reaction, so I got her boxes of latex-free gloves, and she had to wear them 24/7 while she was here because we use so many things that we didn't even realize had the latex. And this would actually have all of these signs, but when there is a real allergic reaction, you know, you get hives and stuff like that. Improper isolation will cause lashes not to cycle through their full growing phase. This causes premature ripping out of the hair follicle, leading to itchiness, discomfort, and the clients being unable to brush their lashes. So someone may have itchy lashes, but it might not have anything to do with any of this. It's just improper isolation. The lash was placed on eyelashes at the wrong growing stage, the wrong size, the wrong length, the wrong weight. So there is a lot to this, right? Application too close to the skin. Eyelash application too close to the skin can cause contact dermatitis, as the glue is not meant to touch the skin. So remember that a lot of these allergic things, dermatitis, remember, is a generic term for inflamed skin, irritated skin, okay? So if it's contact dermatitis, something has came into contact with the skin that is causing a reaction. It's too close to the skin, and this adhesive is not meant to touch the skin. A sty could develop if an eyelash extension is able to touch the skin, causing irritation and red inflamed localized pain. Okay, so that happens if the adhesive is too close to the skin. Okay, and then you can end up with a sty. And we talked about styes, right? Then it goes into lamination and that kind of stuff, which, you know, we don't need to worry about that because we're not talking about laminating lashes and brows and stuff. A patch test. If you or your client have concerns about reactions, schedule a patch test 48 hours or more before service. If there is any reaction within the 24 hours, do not use the product. Okay, so when you are in doubt, patch test, my friends. And they're saying for 48 hours. So put it on, 24-hour window for reaction. So you have someone who is afraid they're going to have a reaction. They may have sensitivity, okay? Call them in on a Monday, do their patch test, but don't schedule them till at least Wednesday, because they're going to call you Tuesday and let you know, hey, I'm cool, or hey, no, that really, it irritated me. Within that 24 hours, they're going to know, okay? It's really important that you do a patch test. Find a replacement product. Maybe there's something else that you can use, and then do a patch test on that. The adhesive, apply 4 to 8 lashes per eye. Disperse evenly through the lashes, contacting only the eyelash follicle and avoiding any contact with the skin, and wait 24 hours. So that is how you perform a patch test. 4 to 8 lashes per eye. Disperse evenly, right? You want maybe one in the corner, 2 in the center, maybe on each side of the iris, and then 1 on the outside edge. And send her packing for 24 hours. If the client feels any sensation or if the skin becomes itchy, irritated, or red, remove the test lashes. Okay? Taping. Apply the product behind the ear or the side of the arm and wait 24 hours. The eye pads. Apply the product behind the ear or the inside of the arm and wait 24 hours. So if you're going to use tape or the eye pad, okay, do behind the ear or inside of arm, just like you would with hair color, okay? How to handle an adverse reaction.